I possibly have the most jealous sister-in-law on the earth. Let me walk you through what she did. I was having a baby shower. She pushed me into a closet while I'm pregnant, locked me there. Nobody could find me for hours, and you want to know why she did it? Because I'm having a baby before her, and that's going to, quote, disappoint her mom. Are you kidding me? Well, I wish that was the end of the story, but it's not. That's just the beginning, and that's why I'm here today. Okay, so let's do this. I'm pregnant, so you know what I should be doing, right? Enjoying my pregnancy and not worrying about my crazy sister-in-law trying to cause a bit of chaos. But here I am reaching out online to strangers to try to figure out what I should do. As I said before, I'm pregnant, my husband and I are expecting our first kid. When it comes out that I was pregnant, my sister-in-law went berserk. She could not believe that I was going to have the first grandchild in the family. To me, it didn't matter who was having the first grandkid. Everything was a blessing. If she had a kid after me, my mother-in-law and her mother would be just as happy. But not my sister-in-law, oh no. She could not be happy for me because the attention always had to be on her. It started when she was very young. My husband's parents ended up breaking up when they were close to their teenage years. While my husband went with my sister-in-law went with her father. The reason she preferred to go with her dad was because her dad spoiled her. I mean, yeah. This was how it was, always. My sister-in-law was spoiled and coddled while my mother-in-law had to play bad cop. My sister-in-law would always go crying to her dad when anything did not go her way. It was crazy when my husband told me how upset she would get over my simply not getting her way. After they divorced, my mother-in-law tried her best to parent her daughter, and not spoil her rotten, but she preferred to live with her dad. My mother-in-law's ex for that very reason. Living with my father-in-law full-time pretty much guaranteed that my sister-in-law was going to be spoiled rotten. I didn't know her much until we were in our 20s, but I've heard of all the horror stories. See, it doesn't sound pretty. How could my father-in-law have done this to his daughter? This was his entire fault. She should not have been raised that way and needed boundaries. But by the time I came into the picture, the damage was done. There was no going back, no matter how much anyone wanted it. My sister-in-law was an absolute spoiled brat who always wanted attention on her, and this was how she was going to be. I'm sure by at this point all of you were wondering how it went when I first met her. I'll tell you right now that the first time I met her, it was very awkward. My first reaction was to be stunned because I could not believe how bratty and rude she was acting, well, to someone she didn't even know. My husband explained that this was how she usually was. Still, I wanted to make a good impression and grit my teeth. I tried my best to not let myself get drawn into her petty games. The end result was my sister-in-law not liking me at all. It seemed the more I tried to get her to like me, the less she actually did. But I was more focused on my relationship with my husband or then boyfriend, and the two of us became engaged after about 2 years of dating. Then we got married. During our wedding, my sister-in-law did try to ruin the ceremony. I'm just surprised that she didn't try to wear white or something like that. I think she was, simply because some of my cousins threatened to spill wine on her if she did that, so she wore pink and did not try to take attention away. But she did keep acting like she was sick or feeling faint, and from there this was a crap show. I focused on my husband and our marriage, not wanting to let my sister-in-law get the best of me. Oh, she tried but failed. My mother-in-law was great during all of this. It's why she and my sister-in-law were not even close because she refused to deal with her crap. I'm so happy that she has my back. While I do have a good relationship with my mother, it's great that I can get along with my mother-in-law as well. You're actually probably wondering what happened after I was pregnant. Well, this happened a few years after we got married because the two of us wanted to get started in our careers before we even thought of having a child. But then we decided, well, we might as well just start trying. Neither of us told anyone in our family that we were going to start trying for children simply because we did not want to jinx it. Once we were sure that we were pregnant and I was close to my second trimester, then we would be able to tell everyone that we were expecting, but not before then. If you're wondering, it's partly because of my sister-in-law, then you would be right. It's because of my sister-in-law that this happened, but also because it's no one's business but our own. Anyways, I end up getting pregnant sooner than I thought I would. I can't believe we got pregnant so soon because I was convinced that it was going to take a while. But then I saw that positive pregnancy test and I knew we were going to have a baby. My husband was so happy for us. He held me and the two of us even cried. Can you blame us? Then came the difficult part of telling our families. And again, this was mostly because my sister-in-law, because I had no idea how she was going to react to me being pregnant. Once I was sure I wasn't going to lose this pregnancy, we told everyone in the family, and as expected, my sister-in-law went ballistic. She started shouting about how the two of us did this on purpose. According to her, she had to be the one who needed to be pregnant first. It was up to her to give the family the first grandchild and not to me. I wasn't deserving of it. It was what my sister-in-law said. I tried to ignore her, but it was difficult when she was always in my face, throwing an absolute tantrum. Or throwing it online. Either way, I just decided that I'm going to focus on my pregnancy, which has been my intention the entire time. As my pregnancy went on and continued, I ended up deciding that I wanted a baby shower. Most people want a baby shower. It's a great way for family to get together, not to mention a way for us to get things that we need for the baby. My sister-in-law became even more upset when she realized I was having a baby shower. My first reaction was to ignore her because that's what I always did. Ignore, ignore, ignore. It's the best course of action with my sister-in-law. But it's that truth that is ignoring her because, it's causing her to act out more as well. So it's a delicate balance. The first thing sister-in-law tried to do was change my baby shower. Guys, I legit could not believe it when my friend calls me up and tells me that my sister-in-law tried posing as me, pretending that she was going to change it at another date because of something that came up. My friend knew it wasn't me right away, but pretended to go along with her stupid plan. Imagine my surprise when my friend calls me up. So, I confronted my sister-in-law along with my mother-in-law, and she starts to cry, saying that she was doing this because she wants a baby shower too. Well, this led me to what my sister-in-law recently told me. According to her, she is pregnant. And now I'm sure that you're reading this and you're raising an eyebrow, thinking that there's no way that this woman could be pregnant, and this was my first thought too. There was no way that she could be pregnant. She's not even dating anyone. Well, I'm aware you don't need to be dating someone to get pregnant, but this just seems so out of the blue. When it was just me, my husband and mother-in-law were starting to, express to one another that something strange was about this. There's no way that my sister-in-law was pregnant, and that she was doing all of this so she could get the attention back on her. This is where I'm at right now. I'm sitting here, typing this, trying to figure out if my sister-in-law is truly pregnant. My gut is telling me that there's no way that she's pregnant. This has to be a ruse of hers because she wants people to pay attention to her. She's been doing this for as long as I've known her, so surely this is just another attempt to get people to flock to her. But my father-in-law thinks that she's pregnant because of course he does. I'm wondering if she is pregnant, but again, I'm leaning towards thinking she isn't. What do you guys think? Also, what should I do about this? My baby shower's in a couple of days, and I would rather focus all my attention on that because it's going to be a big day for all of us. I'll probably respond a few days after the shower, but please leave all your thoughts, advice, and opinions down below. I'll try my best to read as many as I can because I need all the help that I can at this point. Thanks again for reading this. Comment number 1. OP, I don't blame you for being a bit unsure about your sister-in-law's pregnancy after going so far as to get attention back on her and even trying to cancel your baby shower. She seems like she would be willing to try to do anything. This includes trying to say that she's pregnant. So I don't blame you, unlike some others in here, for not believing her. Yes, she would go so far as to make up a pregnancy. What better way to get attention on her than to pretend to be pregnant? Just keep your chin up and focus on your pregnancy. In a couple of weeks, you're going to be having a baby girl, so you should pay attention to her. Comment number 2. OP. I get that you're weary about your sister-in-law saying that she's pregnant. I don't blame you because of everything that she's done to you, but I do wish that you would have given her the benefit of the doubt. You know, what if she is pregnant? That would make her child your niece or nephew, as well as your child's cousin. You don't want to start the relationship by not believing her, yet that's why, you're going with this. So until it's proven that she is not pregnant, give her the benefit of the doubt already. Believe her. If it's proven that she is not pregnant, then you can lash out, but until then, play it safe. Update number 1. The last I reached out to all of you guys, I was talking about my sister-in-law. How she was claiming she was pregnant. Even though I did not believe her, I did not really put much stock into it because I wanted to enjoy my baby shower. So that's why it's been over a week since my last update, because something crazy happened at my baby shower that nobody expected. I didn't even expect it, and I was there. So remember I said my sister-in-law can't stand to have attention on anyone but her? Well, it's my baby shower, so everyone's naturally paying attention to her and me. This is how it's going to go. When I went upstairs to use the bathroom, our downstairs one is getting repaired, my sister-in-law ended up following me. I realized this when I walked out and she confronted me. She ended up pushing me into the closet and locking me in there by sticking a chair under the door. Now, I did not fight back because I was over 6 months pregnant. I didn't want to risk hurting the baby at all, and I do not doubt that my sister-in-law would take a chance to hurt this baby, even if it is her future niece. It wasn't long after she locked me in there, I heard my sister-in-law arguing with my mother-in-law. Before I could even shout at my mother-in-law to ask her to help me, she opened up the door and let me out. See, apparently mother-in-law had seen sister-in-law come upstairs, and she knew that she was up to no good. It was such a relief to be out of that closet. I told my sister-in-law to leave and then went back downstairs. My mother-in-law insinuated that, she would take care of it and she must, because a few minutes later my sister-in-law was storming out of the house. She glared at me, even going as far as flipping me off. It was pretty easy to get back into the shower and enjoy the fact that she wasn't there. Such a relief, too. I didn't have somebody constantly glaring at me and muttering under her breath, and the only reason I invited her there was because she came with my father-in-law's second wife. The last thing I wanted to do was make a scene, even though I realize now that I should have made a scene. Everything is A-okay right now. It is. My sister-in-law. She's still pouting because she did not get her way, but I'm just celebrating the success of my baby. It went great at the baby shower, and I got to spend time with people and a few presents that were opened for the baby, and the two of us really needed some of it. So I'll let you guys know what happens when my sister-in-law. Once I get more news from her, but if nothing happens, then I don't even know if I'll come back here, to be honest. I'm almost hoping I don't have to, so my sister-in-law doesn't cause me any more issues. Still, I'm willing that she's tried to lock me in the closet. This woman must be more desperate than I thought. This makes me realize there's nothing she won't do to get at me for taking attention away from her. Update number 2. Okay, so guys, I had no idea when I was going to update again, but here I am just a week later. It's because I know my sister-in-law's not pregnant. Now, some of you were already suspecting this from the beginning. From the moment I heard about her pregnancy, I had a feeling she was not pregnant, but I did not have any evidence to prove that she wasn't. It was going on my gut feelings, and sadly, that's not good enough evidence for everybody else. But one of my sister-in-law's friends decided that they could not hold on to a secret anymore. They contacted me the other day and let me know that my sister-in-law was faking a pregnancy, and when they first contacted me on Facebook, I was a bit dubious. Why am I going to trust a random person who just messages me out of the blue, but then I decide to throw caution to the wind and toss them a bone? I reached out to her. I asked her how she was so sure that she was faking the pregnancy then. How was she going to know that my sister-in-law was not pregnant? And more importantly, did she have proof that she was not pregnant? This was what mattered to me the most. I needed to have proof that she wasn't pregnant. It wouldn't mean anything if I couldn't prove it. The friend of my sister-in-law said she recorded a conversation about a week ago. It was something that she's been sitting on for days. Unsure if she would tell me the truth, but the guilt was eating at her, so much so that she was deciding to reach out to me. Guys, let me tell you, when I played the recording, I could not believe what I was hearing. Well, that's a lie. I did believe what I was hearing, but having proof that my sister-in-law was lying was something I've been waiting for. She said that the reason she lied about being pregnant was so that she could get attention back on her. It wasn't working as well as she thought because people were still focusing more on me. Stupid of her to say that because I was the one who was giving birth first. If she was pregnant, then she would realize the further she got into her pregnancy, the more people were going to be giving her attention. The plan right now is to find a way to break it to the rest of the family that she's not pregnant. I'm not even going to buy a pregnancy test or two and then give it to sister-in-law. If she wants to put her money where her mouth is, then she can go ahead and take the test. If she is pregnant, it'll come back that she is via the test that I buy. But she's not, so I'm pretty sure that this is going to just absolutely ruin her. Update number 3. The family was getting together about 2 days after my last post. It's only been a day since the gathering happened, but I need to pop on here to let you all know what's going on. My sister-in-law, most importantly, is exposed for not being pregnant. I still remember the look on her face when I revealed her secret to everyone. She turned bright red and looked so embarrassed, but I didn't care. My sister-in-law deserved what she got after everything that she had done to me. But let me get back to what happened. So we all get to my mother-in-law's house where the gathering is taking place. My sister-in-law arrives and starts complaining about morning sickness. I look at my husband, who already knows the truth. He rolls his eyes and says that he can't wait for me to expose his sister. I don't expose her right away. The time passes and I watch as she gets more smug and comfortable, and it's then I tell everyone. I have an announcement. On speaker, I play the recording of my sister-in-law. From the start, she denies everything and says it isn't true. Everyone starts asking why this recording even exists, which leads me to explain the Facebook message I got. Then I give her the pregnancy test and say that she can prove it right now. Sister-in-law throws a tantrum as expected, and she's saying that she does not have anything to prove. But my husband reaches out to his father to explain the situation on the phone, and when my father-in-law contacts my sister-in-law and says that she should take the test to prove all of us wrong, I'm amused, because I realize that she's caught between a rock and a hard place. It's at that point, guys, that she has no choice but to admit it's not true. She says that she isn't pregnant and she made it up. The reason she made it up was because she was jealous of me, and all of this attention. People were starting to shout and yell, and I just sit back and watch it happen. Sister-in-law left and has been, shutting everyone out since. She sent me a few mean messages, but I ignored her because I don't care about her anymore. The lie is exposed and everyone knows how she is. I always knew, and so did my husband and mother-in-law. Will my father-in-law finally realize it? I have no idea. This might be the last update I have on my situation. If anything else happens with my sister-in-law, I'll be sure to pop back on here and let you know. I'm so glad that all of you have been here with me since the beginning and just listening to me rant. Well, it's been difficult dealing with my sister-in-law's crap while I was pregnant, but now I can finally relax and enjoy the rest of my pregnancy. Wish me and my husband luck. We're getting down to the final weeks here, which is nerve-wracking when you think about it. Update number 4. This is the final update of the story. Hey guys, so it's been about a month and a half since my last post. No, I have not given birth yet, but I'm close. Just a little bit longer and I'll be having our daughter. Thank you for all the well wishes towards my family and unborn daughter. Some of you were taking turns guessing the weight and height, but right now you all still have a chance of being right, because I have not given birth yet. Anywho, back to my sister-in-law. She's just left town to go stay with a friend of hers, about an hour away, who believes that she can do no wrong. It's crazy that I'm now living a life where I don't have to worry about my sister-in-law every moment of every day. She's still crying about how it's not fair that she had to leave, but I think that she got what was coming towards her. Let me go back a bit so I can let you know what's going on. See, after my sister's pregnancy was exposed as being fake, rumors started spreading through the town like wildfire. We're a small town, so it should be no surprise how fast the rumors spread. But the heat she was getting ended up getting so bad that my sister-in-law decided that she had to leave town. Honestly, nobody was happier to see her leave than me. I can't stand her, and I never wanted her to be around me in the first place, but I tried. The reason I did this is because she was my husband's family. Remember in my first post that I described how my husband loved his sister? The two of them had a close relationship when they were children, and he really wanted that again. He just can't have that back. No matter how much he wants it to be like that, it won't be, because the two of them are not children. I didn't grow up with siblings. My parents only had me, so I was an only child. Maybe. If my sister-in-law can apologize for everything she's done, then we might be able to salvage something one day, but I don't know if this will ever happen. My sister-in-law has never been sorry for anything she's ever done. She's so sorry that she's gotten caught, and that's all it is. I'm going to focus on my kid or daughter, who will still, hasn't come up with a name yet for. It's going to be born in just a few weeks. Keep her in your thoughts, please. Maybe once she's born, I'll pop back on here and let you guys know how it's going, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. We're going to be very busy with our unborn daughter, so please keep us in mind. Comment number 1 from the final post says, OP, I wish I could see the look on your sister-in-law's face as she was driven from town. This is what she gets after everything she's done to you. I mean, she faked a pregnancy and tried to cancel your baby shower and then locked you in a closet at your baby shower. The worst thing she did was pretend to be pregnant, though. Let's be real. When you mentioned that, I just couldn't believe it. It's a relief that everyone knows the truth. I'm also glad that your mother-in-law was not on your side the entire time. Sometimes there's this fear that they'll will side with their child no matter what. Overall, I'm happy for you, OP, and I'm glad that she won't bother you anymore. Comment number 2. OP, are you for real right now? How could you sit there and laugh while she's forced to leave town with her tail tucked between her leg? I mean, come on. What's your deal? Yes, I completely understand why you were angry, but her home was there, OP. She now has to pack up everything and leave, and it's always a hassle for someone to pack up and leave. I mean, would you like to do that? I don't think so. Yet this is what's happening to your sister-in-law right this second, and I'm not saying you can't be angry at her, but don't be so smug. It's not a good look from people who are on the outside looking in for you to catch my drift.